Tickling kids. A source of joy or a lesson worth reflecting on? Hello everyone. Today I'd like to share with you a story that's so close to the heart of every parenting journey. The act of tickling our kids. Just thinking about their giggles when we tickle them warms my heart. But you know what? Behind those adorable moments, there are things we need to pause and think about. Does tickling really bring our kids the joy we imagine? Or could it, without us realizing, send them messages we never intended? Let's dive into this together. With all the sincerity and love I want to share with you. Tickling. Is it joy or just a reflex? Have you ever noticed how, when we tickle our kids, they burst into giggles, and we assume they're having the time of their lives? But the truth might not be that simple. I've learned that when kids laugh from being tickled, it's not always because they're enjoying it, it's an automatic reaction. Like sneezing. Sometimes, even as they laugh, they might feel uncomfortable or even in pain. Scientists have found that when studying facial expressions, people can show signs of discomfort even while laughing. It's surprising, right? And here's something fascinating. In history, tickling was once used as a form of punishment. So, my friends, their laughter isn't always a sign of happiness. We need to listen deeper to truly understand how they feel. How do we know when they don't want to be tickled? Now, picture this. You're playing with your child, tickling them, and they're laughing loudly. But then you wonder, are they really okay with this? Especially with little ones who can't yet talk. It's such a challenge for us. I remember tickling my child once. And though they laughed, I noticed their brows furrow. Their upper lip lift slightly, tiny signs I might have missed if I wasn't paying attention. So how do we spot when they've had enough? It's in the way they grimace, say, no, or stop, or even scream if they can't speak yet. Some kids might even cry. Those moments taught me to be more in tune with their feelings. If they enjoy it, I tickle gently and pause often to check if they want to keep going. But if I see any hint of discomfort, I stop right away and switch to something else. It's amazing how a little mindfulness can protect their emotions. Don't you think? Tickling and their right to control their body. Have you ever thought that something as simple as tickling could shape how our kids see their own bodies? It might sound far-fetched, but it's something I've wrestled with. When we tickle them even though they don't want it, it might make them feel they don't have a say in who touches them or how. As parents, I believe it's our job to teach them about their right to control their bodies from a young age. I want my child to grow up knowing, this is my body, and I can say no if I'm not okay with something. It's not just about confidence, it's a shield for them in the future. I often remind myself, if I don't respect their boundaries, how will they learn to ask others to do the same? What do you think, friends? Teaching kids about body boundaries. Let's dig a little deeper into teaching our kids about their body's boundaries. It's something I find so meaningful. Research shows that when toddlers get to make choices based on what they want, it helps their brains grow stronger, especially in managing emotions and behavior. Before I tickle my child, I'll ask, do you want me to tickle you? It's a small question, but it shows them their voice matters. I encourage them to ask permission before touching others too, like saying, can I hug my friend? With simple words like, hug? I also tell them it's perfectly okay to say, no, or step away from a touch they don't like. Even from family. And most importantly, I want them to know they can always tell me or any trusted adult if someone touches them in a way they don't want, without fear of being scolded. Isn't it incredible how a small game can teach such big lessons? Other ways to bring laughter to our kids. At this point, you might be wondering, if we don't tickle, how do we make them laugh? I've asked myself that too. But I've discovered there are so many ways to spark joy without tickling. For example, I love making goofy faces, wide eyes, silly tongues, and my kid just cracks up. Or I'll tell age-appropriate jokes that get them giggling. Once, I pretended to fall over in the funniest way. And they couldn't stop laughing. Those moments don't just make them happy, they fill my heart too. Knowing their joy comes from within. Give it a try, and I promise your home will be filled with laughter. Bonding through loving touch. Lastly, I want to share something I treasure deeply: the power of physical connection between parents and kids. It's our way of saying, "I love you," without words. I truly believe gentle touch can make our kids feel safe, confident, and happy as they grow. Instead of tickling, I'll read books with my child, asking if they'd like to sit on my lap. Or even read to me. Sometimes we do little massages with some lotion or a drop of a favorite scent, though always check with a pediatrician first for little ones. On playful days, we'll try games like horsey rides or airplane, where they sit on my back or arms. The key is, I let them decide how we play and how we touch. Those moments don't just bring us closer, they let my child feel loved in the fullest way. Do you have special ways to connect with your kids? Try them out and feel the magic. Dear friends, parenting is an incredible journey full of emotions, isn't it? Through this story about tickling today, I hope you'll join me in listening to our kids more, respecting them more, and finding the ways to love them that fit them best. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to sharing more with you next time. Wishing you and your little ones endless happiness.